If you thought last year's tight end class was good, then I hope you brought a change of pants. Because this year's tight end class could very well be very, very good. I'm not saying we got multiple first rounders or anything like that, but it's a lot more jam-packed. I had a much tougher time trying to rank these guys, especially after, I think one's kind of unanimous for a lot of us, but after that, I think you could shuffle the order from 2 to maybe like 11 or yeah, it's very interesting. We're going to talk about a lot of guys today. So what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so I'm trying hit the nasal spray quite a bit, and if I sound nasally, my apologies. Let's get into the stinking list, though, baby. I only got one first rounder. It being, of course, Jalen Wada Meyer. But I want to talk quickly about a guy that Mel Kiper had ranked it to that we only have a small sample size on. And it's Jaleel? What was it? Billingsley? Interesting. The guy's size is I think he needs to put on a little bit of weight, but it's an extremely small sample size as a blocker. I don't think it's there. It might be coming together, but it ain't there yet. But I like the sure hands. I like the after a catch ability. It's just not there yet for him. The sample size is too small for me to really be able to tell otherwise. So I know some people are going to throw his name in the comments. We got less than 300 career snaps on him. It's kind of tough. But let's talk about Wada Meyer here, because the dude's great. 6'5", 255, plays through contact, whether it's during the route or after the catch. He played 177 snaps in line, 121 snaps in the slot, with 31 being out wide, and this was just in 2020. I love how he's utilized there at Texas. I keep saying Texas Tech, Texas A&M. Good contested catch target. He saw more jump balls in the red zone in 2020. He improved as a blocker. Penalties, still a bit of a problem, but is what it is. I decided to go with Cade Oden at number 2 here. This one was tough. He's a very good blocker, very good contested catcher, actually. 5-7 over his career. But to be fair, last year was kind of his first year as an actual starter, I believe. Here, actually, let's take a look at that. Because I remember he was supposed to be the guy after Hunter Bryant. Let's see. Yes, last year was the first year he really saw significant snaps, I believe. Well, I mean, I guess 2019 was all right. But yeah, last year was a shortened season. That kind of sucks. Is what it is. He showed after the catchability. Very good after the catchability. Actually, almost half his yards were after the catch. The thing was he only played 4 games. 3 forced missed tackles, though, through those 4 games. I'm going to ride on this guy's potential. That's what I'm going to do. Trey Mcbride coming in at 3, though. I think he's the best all-around linebacker in this class. He's probably the most Pat Freiermuth linebacker in this class. Great blocker, great chain mover. Lined up in the slot last year as much as he did in line. Great contested catch target, 11 of 19 through his career. Okay after the catch, kind of just a battering ram. I don't really have moves, but good luck bringing me down. I'm going to lower the shoulder and give you the boomstick. Isaiah Likely is a guy that I like. Very surprising, right? Very good contested catch target. 22 of 34 over his career. Proved to be very deadly after catch. One of the best tight ends after the catch in 2020 with 10 forced missed tackles and over 200 yards of that good yak. Big play potential. 3 of his catches went for 60-plus yards last season. Did see a bit of a drop problem in 2020, 14.3, but that wasn't really the case the year before in 2019. So we're going to get a more accurate read this year on that. Above average blocker. He's kind of I guess you would say a dark horse in this class. Charlie Collar out of Iowa State is a very good tight end. It's just he doesn't do he's a very basic tight end. He's one of the better route runners in this class. He's he's an average blocker, if you want to say that. Average to below average. Needs to kind of clean up in that aspect. But he saw more career snaps in the slot than he actually did in line, because this guy's just really good at running like tight end routes. Like, he's got good hands, good ball skills. Again, not much after the catch, but like, this guy's just a good tight end. He's just a good tight end. He's kind of like, I would say maybe like a fringe day 2 guy, maybe more of a 4th rounder, but I like him a lot. And then comes the part of the list where there's some guys with small sample sizes that could elevate themselves. Austin Stokener is one of those guys. Wasn't a full-time starter last year. He was also banged up parts of last year, but he has some legit receiving skills. His average depth of target was almost 13 yards. Proved to have some really good ball skills, 7 of 13 on contested catches last year. Does have some drops on film that's kind of infuriating, but it is what it is. Hopefully that cleans up next year with the larger sample size. I want to see a bit more after the catch ability, but we're going to see a lot more of him next year. He should be the starter easy, and as long as he doesn't get hurt. He's a so-so blocker, but show me that receiving skill. That's what I like. That's what I want to see. Jeremy Ruckert, guy I might end up putting more on the list. It's just the sample size is so freaking small. He's a very good athlete. He's a decent blocker. It's just the only time he really flashed or he was utilized last year at Ohio State was during the playoffs. The playoffs literally accounted for over half of his production. I just need to see him utilized more. That's literally what it is. But great size, 6'5", 252. Josh Wow out of Cincinnati. Alex from the Hail Mary podcast really hyped up this guy. I'm not there with him, man. 6'6", 235. He really just feels like more of a jumbo slot receiver than a tight end. I kind of feel... I'm feeling a bit similar to Kylan Granson from last year. He ended up being a 4th round pick, though, so... Josh here, not a good blocker. I think he's a chain mover with some after the catch ability. That's about it, though. James Mitchell, might end up putting him higher on this list because I like this guy a lot. He is a dog, dude. And, like, he doesn't have a lot of moves after the catch, but, like, he's got some good speed. Typically, you're not catching him. Like, he creates really good separation. He's very physical at the catch point. He's 6'3", 242, so he's not necessarily the biggest guy in this class, but he is physical. He creates windows in traffic. Like, and despite his size, the dude's a dog in the blocking game, dude. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to put him a bit higher. I'm pretty high on it. Like, I just love this guy, how he plays. And then Jake Ferguson rounded out the top 10 here. Average athlete for the position, doesn't do much after the catch. He's an okay blocker. Just kind of feels like a solid, reliable tight end 2 at this point. But here's some other guys I have that you should probably watch out for. We kind of already talked about Billingsley from Alabama at the beginning of the video, but got Greg, who, oh my gosh, dude, I gotta get these names down. I will by the end of the summer, though. Dolch, out of UCLA. This guy is kind of the Kenny Yeboah of this class. He's a bit of a tweener, former walk-on. He's literally, this cat put on 30 pounds just to play the tight end position. I don't know how much more weight he can put on, but he's 6'4". He could put on a little bit more if he wanted to. Great speed. Not much of a blocker. Majority of his snaps came in the slot. That's why I kind of bring up the Kenny Yeboah thing here, but very deadly vertical threat. He was up there with Kyle Pitts in terms of how deadly of a vertical threat he was. Peyton Hendershot is one of the most intriguing guys in this class out of Indiana. He kind of had a down year last year, but like he was one of the more complete tight ends going into 2020, and then 2020 he just had a kind of a down year, dude. His drop rate went to like 20%. Very uncharacteristic. Really, 2021, really is going to be kind of the litmus test. Like, okay, show us which guy you are. Are you 2019 or are you 2020? If you can regain that 2019 form, it goes a long way. He's not that great of a blocker, but underneath or vertically, like, he was a threat in 2019. Again, if we could see him return to that form. The biggest thing, though, well, no, I think the play is the biggest thing. Because a lot of people are going to bring up, oh, he's got character concerns. He has a domestic battery charge just in February 2020. I kind of did a little research into that because it was also criminal trespassing. And because, I mean, you hear domestic battery and you think really, really bad. Apparently, like, it was a heat of the moment type of thing. His girlfriend was cheating, or at least suspected of cheating, allegedly. And he took her phone and shoved her. She called the cops. Like, I don't know how bad the shove was. But again, you think your girlfriend's cheating? I mean, I get it. You're hot. Doesn't excuse his actions by any means, but hey, man, I'm just saying, in the heat of the moment, if you think you might not fly off the freaking panhandle, I don't know if that's a saying, but hey, man, sometimes some good people do dumb things. You might be like, well, he's not a good person. No, you don't really know that, because like I went back in, saw there's no other run-ins with the law that I could have found, no actual character concerns. This was like the blip, this moment. So I'm going to take it as a grain of salt. A lot of people have spoken very highly of him since the incident. So I'm going to more so focus on, I want to see you regain that 2019 form in 2021. So I don't know. If y'all find other things on him, let me know. But I couldn't find anything. Brant Kuith out of Utah. A lot of people, some people are going to really like this guy, but this guy is not a blocker. He doesn't have natural ball skills. He just feels like a jump ball slot receiver. That's it. Maybe. Yeah. Jordan Peterson, or I said Jordan Peterson. Josh Peterson, the son of, what's his dad's name? Is it Jordan or is it Josh? Son of Doug Peterson. I'm stupid, right? Yeah, Doug Peterson. Bam. I'm throwing names out there left and right. Steve Peterson? I don't know. He was going to transfer from Louisiana Monroe, but decided not to. He doesn't have great size. Just seems like a good chain mover. Might end up being just a fringe 7th rounder. Maybe undrafted free agent. Cole Turner out of Nevada. Actually, he blew up some quality linebacker prospects this past year. I just want to see more of it. Nick Muse out of South Carolina, former William & Mary transfer, just hasn't been able to stay on the field for South Carolina. That's why he returned. I think he's a super senior, like super senior. Brandon Galloway, there's little to no tape, or at least, yeah, there's not a lot of, like, it's a very small sample size. I mean a small sample size. Chase Allen's kind of the same way in this class for Iowa State. I don't know how much more of them we'll see this year. And then Grant Calicottera, the dude is going to be an old prospect. Decided to transfer to SMU. He was going to go to Auburn. Former Oklahoma guy. He was a highly, back in 2019 or the 2020 NFL draft, like, people were talking this guy up, but injuries forced him to retire and stuff. Like, I don't know how much of a actual NFL prospect he's going to be. But yeah, that's kind of it for the list. Which means that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.